Hello, and welcome to this episode of The Inner Estate with your host, Bridget and Stuart. And today, my guest is Rebecca Del Pozo. Rebecca, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I am thrilled to bits because you have written a book about some of my favorite topics that actually can impact people in their professional life and as leaders, but also in their everyday life with relationships, family, friends, and themselves, which is so critical. And your book and our topic today is called Stop Winging It. So, Rebecca, what does it mean? And give us an overview.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the cover. It says, "Don't accept your life, lead it." And it comes from a quote from John Maxwell, actually. And this last year I had the privilege of having a coaching experience with him, which was just phenomenal.
Right.
I remember reading one of his books years ago. It was a Failing Forward, and just being freed up from that pressure and that burden of feeling like things have to be perfect to keep moving forward, right?
Yes.
And so many times I think, based on the way we were raised, based on the way our parents kind of led us to believe we have to live out our lives, we're living out lives of other people's expectations, not really the true, like, what lights us up, what gets us out of bed, what gets us excited about living this life that we feel called to live. So I've I've said many times, I've learned how to jazz hands my way and kind of wing it through. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
So,
And
yeah.
so can you say that the intro to the title again one more time?
Don't accept your
It's
life, lead it.
lead it. Yeah. And that, as I mentioned, that's what was so intriguing to me about the messaging and Stop Winging It, is it would be very easy and foolish, in my opinion, for someone to think, oh, this is a book about work and my career, because it's really not. It's really about lifting your own lid, leading your own self, competing against your own self in a positive way, and like bringing out your best every day wherever you can.
Yeah, absolutely. And, a lot of people have given feedback on this book because I go deep into my biggest, dirtiest secrets right off the bat. I share that I have dyslexia, that I have ADHD, that I don't have a college degree. I was in crazy amounts of debt, and I had no business experience whatsoever when I got into the real estate space. And
Hmm.
so it was like all these things that were discrediting, right, my ability to be there.
Yes.
And what I learned was, the quicker I just get over myself and share, here's who I am, with other people, I connected with people, I made friends faster. Others would be like, hey, like, me too, like, let's talk this through. What have you done? So, so in the book, it's definitely a lot of personal and just some real relatable ways that I've learned to navigate life.
So, Rebecca, how important do you think it is for people to be vulnerable? Because what I heard you say in that is you chose to be yourself, not hide yourself. And it sounds like early in one of your careers, we'll get to that in a minute, because you are an entrepreneur and a speaker and an author and also in real estate. You were not afraid to be vulnerable with people, and it sounds like you wanted connection more than you were worried about being rejected.
Okay, well, that's partially true. I
Okay.
definitely was hiding for like the first 9, 10 years of my real estate career. And what I realized was, I felt like I had to either reach a certain sales goal to feel worthy. And for me personally, I went through an unexpected divorce. It ended up being a fantastic reset for my life. And that's when I made the decision to be authentic and to just be my funny, goofy self
Hmm.
and get over myself and share with people. So when that vulnerability showed up for me, that's when I realized, wait a second, like, what if all the things I've been holding so close and not wanting anyone to know about me are the very things that are going to help me find connection with other people, help me grow myself and grow my business and grow my influence, right? And now I see them as my superpowers, right? Like
Yes.
when I share with people and they can go, well, that's relatable. Like, okay, that's real life. Like we have something in common. I feel like in that workshop training room space, in the coaching space, in whatever communication I'm in with someone, it's like there's this kind of like a deep breath of like, okay,
Yes.
we can just chill now. We're friends. We're good.
Well, I think it's inspiring as well. So it does allow people to feel that they can also be themselves when you show up as yourself, right? So that's very
Yeah.
powerful. But
Yeah.
it's an inspiration as well. So even let's say at one of your public speaking events, there may be someone in the audience where they're still in where you were in the first 9 years or so of real estate, feeling as if, oh no, if anyone finds out about XYZ, they're going to look at me differently. And they're in that. And then you share and they see, wait a minute, she is a public speaker, an author, a successful real estate agent, a businesswoman, wealth builder, has overcome these things. I can too. Yeah, I think that I am sure there's people out there, maybe some are actually listening that are like, yep, she's talking about me because I went to one of Rebecca's events and that's exactly what I thought in there. So you're touching people you don't even know when you show up as yourself, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
When did you have the inspiration that you were going to write the book? Was it a moment of Satori or was it like several series of things can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say that it's a compilation of a lot of airplane rides. And so when I get up above the clouds and I would purposely not purchase Wi-Fi,
That's
I
right.
would get into a Word doc and just start like journaling out my thoughts and just my takeaways from different masterminds or group events or things that I'd gone and experienced. And so this is actually the third book that I've authored. The first two I co authored with a dear friend of mine and colleague, Erin. And so when we published those books together, I had identified, right, what my weaknesses are. And those were her strengths. She was an amazing editor, all these things.
Mhm.
And I wanted to get this book out. And unfortunately, she passed away unexpectedly. And it felt like the biggest impossibility in my world. It was like, I'm never going to be able to write this book without her. And in logging into my drive and folders, I actually found all of the checklists and the step by step one day of how to do it. And because of that procedure manual that I found online, I felt that was my green light. Okay,
That Aaron created.
that Aaron created
That's right.
years ago.
That's right.
And so in finding that document, I just was like, okay, here's another, green light. I've got to do this. I've got to get this book out and be able to share what's on my heart right now.
So here I'll ask you a very cheesy question. So who would this book be for?
That's a great question. It's for everyone because whatever the aspect of your life is that you feel you're winging it in, it's going to give you those keys to unlock it. So we've got people in our free book club that are retired and feel like every day's a Saturday and that has become a hindrance in their life and so they've felt like this helped them bring some structure into their
Nice.
retirement years, which I was like, well, that's amazing. It's for the mom who has a child with dyslexia or ADHD that wants to find a better way to frame like their communication style. It's for
Mhm.
educators, it's for teachers, it's for entrepreneurs, right? It's anybody breathing that can identify that there's a part in your life that you've just been flying by the seat of your pants and you've been getting by and you just imagine like what would happen if I just unlocked this. So,
Right. I had the same feeling that it had a very broad appeal, as I mentioned, because this is not necessarily about any particular industry or any particular work situation, which you and we've known each other for a long time. How many business books have we read?
yeah,
And by the
hundreds,
way, reread. There's
thousands.
several that
Yeah.
we've reread like multiple times, right? And it's not that you don't take away some things for your personal life from those. But I feel that stop winging it, you're really addressing the reflection in the mirror first, and then you're going to change how you feel about and see yourself, and then that is gonna change how you're interacting, in all areas of life. I know this is probably a hard question. What is the most important, in your opinion, capsule or message in the book? If you had to really contract it down, what would you share? What do you feel is the biggest item in that book that you think has the biggest impact on people?
It's absolutely mindset. Right? I mean, recent research tells us that it's 95% mindset, 5% skill. And yet we go to the workshops or we go to these things that are talking all about these skill based parts. And if you don't have that mindset piece of someone feeling that they're worthy, right, of good things and of bigger things and of a life that they feel called to live, then there's just always this hurdle they're trying to get up and over. So I would definitely say it's mindset. It's the tangible, as I like to call them, tiny little baby steps
Right.
that we can take to what we're thinking about ourselves, the affirmations we are saying out loud to ourselves, the eye contact we make when we look at ourselves in the mirror.
Right. Right.
It's the little things that have the biggest impact.
They really do. And it's in your messaging, it's the little things that you're thinking and how you're seeing yourself and how you're looking at yourself. It is also taking action to make sure that you're not just staying in that moment. But the mindset has to be one of, and I'm going to take action today. Yeah, mindset is massively critical. So if someone is out there and they're hopefully listening to the two of us discuss this and they're like, I wish I could talk to Rebecca because I understand what she's saying and that makes sense. And yet I am so low, or I am suffering from uh, uh, long standing procrastination, or I have this challenge that, is different than everyone else. Can you give that person one action step they could take today that, even if it's a teeny little nudge, may nudge them in a different direction to be open to what's possible?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have the power today to decide it's time for a breakthrough. Many times people go through hardship or pain moments of darkness that bring about incredible stories, right? Of resiliency and inspiration and everything. We've cracked the code on this. We've got the formula for how you can bring about a breakthrough in your own life without having to go down that painful, dark path. And it's doing that. It's saying, hey, I'm at that point of, I know I'm ready for breakthrough. And I reach out to someone and I say, like, sign me up. Let's do this thing. Right.
Hmm.
So I I think people get to that point where they're just like, I know for me, I'm just like, I'm fed up with myself. Like, I'm sick and tired of this attitude that I know I'm in. It's time to change.
One of my old coaches used to say, when you wake up and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're ready to do it. You're ready to make
Yeah.
the change. And then he would say, and using your word, said, and you can decide that today's that day. So you don't have to wait until it's like, oh, the bottom of the barrel, before you actually do something. So I think that's really intriguing, is that they can decide. You are, as I've mentioned a few times, you are what's called a Keller Williams Master Faculty. Keller Williams, if you don't know, is a large international real estate company, and that's a very elite designation that you have. One of the classes that I have attended that you have taught is Quantum Leap. And in Quantum Leap, you discuss how your life will become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Okay? So believe me, I'm actually tying this back to what we were just talking about. So what if someone is exhausted and they want their life to be different and they are suffering and they feel as if they don't have the mindset within themselves, and they're facing a situation where lovingly the 5 closest people to them are telling them, well, you can't do that. You just have to accept how things are. No, 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 don't think too big, don't shoot too high, you're gonna be so disappointed if you don't hit it, like, so what if you're surrounded by, uh, loving smothering that is holding you down? What would you say to someone in that position?
You love the naysayers, as I refer to them, right? You
Yeah,
love
I
them
like that.
and you respect them for their opinion, and it means that you need to tune into someone else. It's
Yes,
time. It's time to be mindful of the podcasts you're listening to, the music you're listening to, the voices you're listening to, right? So it would be time to audit and be like, okay, I'm limiting my time with these certain people to make room and to open space in my calendar to be listening to other people that can speak that possibility over my life, right?
I agree.
'Cause I love my mom. I love my mom. However, the most my mom ever made combined with my dad as a small business owner was $43,000 in 1 year. So, am I gonna go and talk with her about financial things? Probably not. On the surface, maybe, but to go deep into that, no. So that means I've got to find someone that is gonna be that role model or
That's right.
mentor for me to identify with to say, okay, so I talk with her about these other topics and we're close and I love her. However, I've got to find and level up that role model relationship of someone who can speak into that part of my life.
I'm just glad you brought that up because that's something I run into with my coaching clients. There are some coaching clients where they are doing well, but they haven't fully developed where they could take their business, but they're already making more than anyone else in their family ever did to the best of their knowledge, right? And that can be a real limiting belief to break through. So you are right. Take a look at you can still love the people that love you. We're not saying you can't love them. You need to add in the messaging, the relationships, the role models, the pioneers, the coaches that have done it before. They've helped other people do it before. And
Yeah.
oftentimes that requires an investment in yourself. So, one of the things that you're doing that I think is so appealing is you have some free opportunities where if someone is out there and they're not quite ready to, say, hire a coach, then they can join your communities. And I believe you might even have more than I know about, but I know that you have your free book club, and that's a group people could join. And then you also have a community that has impressed me for years that is the Millionaire Real Estate Moms community. So sometimes I just call it Millionaire Moms because correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you even have a few mothers in there that are not in real estate, but they want to focus on building generational style. So tell me a little bit about share with everyone. What what are they about? What could people expect? How could they get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're right on. The first one is the free Stop Winging It book club, and that's just a free Facebook community for anyone to join. And we have the opportunity to watch the playbacks or jump on any live calls where we go chapter by chapter and talk through the questions and hash it out together. The second is a passion project of mine, and that is the Millionaire Real Estate Moms and a free group on Facebook for people to join. Any moms that are thinking about getting into real estate or are business owners wanting
Yes.
to build wealth, right? And so that really just came about because I was a single mom of three and I wanted to figure out like what does leverage look like at home? What does leverage look like when it comes to grocery shopping? How do I buy back more of my time as a mom? How do I set goals as a mom in real estate and build those other passive income streams?
When did you
And
create
so
the Millionaire Real Estate Moms community?
that would have been like 2014 or 15. So yeah,
You're
that's
like
crazy to think.
11 years old.
Wow. I know, and it started with, like, I think it was 5 or 6 of us moms in this group, and then it was, standing room only for the in-person, and then we've done Zoom trainings, and I've
Hmm.
got the Millionaire Real Estate Mom Blueprint, which are,
Hmm.
like, the 8 baby steps to get yourself to millionaire status as a mom, and so from that, there have just been learn to love your calendar, free training, Zooms, and different live in-person opportunities as well, so it's been a lot of fun.
Well, the thing that has been exciting as well is clearly you and I, our chosen industry and passion is very rooted in real estate. I'm going on, I'll have my 27th anniversary in real estate this November. It might fall on Thanksgiving this year. I have to double check that again. And you now have been in decades. How long have you been in?
22 years
Right.
as of right now. Yeah.
But I think what's been and we both are highly passionate. Believe me, anyone listening, we could talk about real estate, the two of us, for probably 3 days straight before we need to take a break. The thing that has been exciting and challenging and wonderful for me, and I believe for you, is it's so much about leadership and mindset that you and I are now expanding outside of just our chosen industry. Could you share with everyone how Stop Winging It and your speaking engagements, share some of the other groups and industries that have embraced this and invited you in?
Yeah, absolutely. Entrepreneurs that are solo and just feeling like they're out there, doing this and trying to figure it out on their own. So I've been able to help people in launching new businesses. I've worked with pastors and ministry leaders overseeing, different passion projects where they're walking out their faith and wanting just because they're the ones pouring into other people. They
Right.
want someone pouring into them with a focus and a priority on their personal goals. So I've had the privilege of coaching clients in different walks of faith, roofers, contractors, junk haulers, businesses that are looking for opportunities to scale. And I come in and will consult and brainstorm different ways in which they can increase profit and overall culture of their people. So
That's
it's
really
been a lot of
exciting.
fun.
And how has their response been?
Yeah, I mean, it is overwhelming that when leaders get the stats, like they say right now that up to 20% of your workforce has dyslexia or ADHD. There is some form of it that's showing up. And so when leaders can attach to this and go, okay, how can we play to these people's strengths within our organization? There's growth, there's profit. And so it's been really positive.
Rebecca, first off, that's so exciting that you're impacting people even outside of our chosen industry. However, we both are still firmly rooted in real estate. And you actually still actively list and sell real estate and have a team up in, I'm going to try to say it, Puyallup, Washington.
Good
Did
job.
I get it? Okay, good.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
Keller Williams there. So tell me a little bit more about like how is that going? Because with millionaire real estate moms, correct me if I'm wrong, you believe one of the pathways to enhancing and securing your wealth overall is by investing in real estate. So you and your husband have also been actively investing in real estate. So just tell us a little bit more about like how that works into everything else that you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a firm believer in the best way to learn something is to teach about it, right? Because you're going to go and consume and listen to all the books and podcasts on those topics. And so for us, it was real estate investing. We set some pretty audacious goals and said that this is our new adventure. Like, let's go and make it happen. And so we've hosted baby steps to investing in real estate workshops on Zoom, in person, and here in our local market of the Seattle, Tacoma, Washington area. And so from that, we just said to our friends and clients, like, we're doing this, let's go. And so we have invested locally as well as out of state in multiple states. And now we turn around and help other people with what we've learned how to do and encourage them to do the same. So we work with people who are investors and wanting to build those passive income streams. We also work with the downsizing people who have properties and are wanting
Yes,
to move into that next chapter of their life. And first time home buyers, like we just so cool, like just helped a 21-year-old buy his first house.
that's
And
awesome.
yeah, so we absolutely love it. And we've seen the benefit that investing in real estate has, done for us personally. So now we love to help other people too.
That's really awesome. And so we're going to jump to all this sounds phenomenal. So I guess that means that your life is perfect and you must not have any difficult days or face any challenges, and your mindset must always be perfect. Is that true?
Absolutely not.
Share a little more
Absolutely not.
about that.
Yeah, I mean, I am a recovering hot mess. I think that's how I open up the book in the first few sentences. It's not that I've got it all figured out. It's a journey, it's a process, it's a decision. I have gone through some really horrific heartbreak of losing my dad, had a massive heart attack and passed away at 63 years old. Losing my, best friend and assistant, Aaron, at
Yeah.
41 years old. The unexpected loss of loved ones it's almost like it's created the opposite of PTSD. It's post-traumatic growth.
Oh, okay. I like
So, in
that.
honor of these loved ones that are now gone, how am I going to live my life? Like, if I didn't have more than a couple of days left to live, like, am I living out that life, right? It's that whole concept of you live today like it's your last,
Right.
and show up like it's that first day that you're meeting someone, or that first day of school, or that first day on the job, and you're full of potential and optimism. So divorce, adoption, I mean, you name it, there have been difficult times. I don't know what you want to call it, my bounce back ability
Yeah.
factor is high. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm down now. It's okay. I'll get up. What's the baby step I could take? Or what's the
To
Rebecca
get up.
rule
Right.
to just get back up? Keep going. One tiny little baby step. What could that be today?
And that, so you focus on deciding and then making a small action, a small step.
Yeah. And you hear other people share, like incredible authors, like Make Your Bed, or, you
Oh, yeah, I
know,
love that.
or 5 4 3 2 1, or like whatever it is. For me, it's shower off and suit up, right? Like just
I love
wash off
that.
the day before. And, fresh head of hair always feels good. And for me, then it's, put on a blazer or a nice top and get out of your house, right?
Yes.
Go and even if it's just sitting in a coffee shop with the hustle and bustle, or get out of your house and go interact with other people. And science tells us, like, you will feel better.
You will feel better. Absolutely. You will absolutely. Yes. If you take care of yourself, put on, I'll say, real clothing, and then get out of your house. I have a theory around that. I haven't done a lot of research into this particular aspect, but I have a theory that during COVID, we all cocooned, of course, but I feel like some people are not necessarily rediscovering get out of your house. We became, because it's a habit now, right? So people are staying in. They're like, I have to say yes to that. I hope it gets canceled. So just get out. And I personally, you already know me, your off grid friend. I just got back from camping outside 4 nights on Mount Whitney, climbing Mount Whitney. I did not make it to the summit because of weather, but got really close and hit my own personal summit because I wanted to be off grid and reconnect with nature. And then I went to Death Valley and laid down on the floor in Death Valley so I could ground with Death Valley. So
Yeah.
hear it from both of us. I even think, because a lot of people are just staying either in their homes or inside, just for a challenge the next 30 days. If you're listening to this and you want your life and your feeling and your mindset to be different, use a timer and go outside without your phone. Don't make your phone the timer. Go outside for 10 minutes a day. Even if you do nothing, even if you just sit, even if you count the time, like, this is ridiculous. Why am I doing this? I'm wasting time. Just get outside, observe, walk. I think that could be really beneficial.
I agree with you. I think getting outside, and I also think that just because something is convenient doesn't mean it's the best for us. So like if I
Right.
think of Uber Eats or Grubhub or the delivery services that exist, just get out of your house. Go, and if you're going to eat, like eat in, and go sit in there and interact with your server or the people that are next to you, or like, just because it's convenient and it's comfortable at home doesn't mean that's something you should be doing on a regular basis. Go get out. We went to this like German bar the other night. It was just this new place, this new experience, and they were watching I think the Mariners were playing. Like there was just an energy because we were around other people that I think we need to be purposeful
Right.
in putting ourselves in again.
I agree. And you can do it too. Look, I say be tourist in your own town. Go to your visitor bureau, go to your Chamber of Commerce site and see what big events are coming up and go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go to the farmer's market on the weekend, even if you don't want to buy any vegetables and you hate greens. Okay, it doesn't matter. Go anyway. Like, yeah, just get out and about. So I think, is there anything else in this same vein of a nearly immediate action that you think people could take that would start impacting their self-perception, how they look at themselves when they look at themselves in the eye in the mirror, and their mindset? Any other advice you'd like to give them or ideas?
Yeah, I mean, my challenge would be that you smile at yourself in the mirror. Make eye contact and smile. I think our default is to be critical of ourselves and to quickly go, ugh, ugh, like,
Right, right.
and look at yourself and smile. And you don't even have to say anything to yourself. Just make that eye contact with like true, authentic eye contact and just smile and be like, good job. You did it. You got up. It's a fresh new day.
It's a fresh new day.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's amazing. So I also want to ask you, uh, let's imagine that it is the fourth quarter of 2035. What's happening in your life then?
2035, I have to get a calculator. Like what does that even, how many years? 2035, 10
10
years.
years. It's only
Almost,
10
yeah,
years away.
10 years. I've got friends all over the world. I've had those invitations to go and to teach and to speak and to go and experience all the different cultures that are out there. And so we're traveling and we're just checking in on friends now. And I get to keep doing what I'm doing, coaching and encouraging and speaking life into people that I interact with and go, hey, it's possible for you too. Let's go.
Mhm.
And 10 years out, I've got grandbabies, so at that point I've got to have a jet share personal jet lined up because my kids are
Mm,
in 3 different states. So that means
I
I'm going to have
like it.
grandbabies I've got to be, connecting with. Yeah, worldwide.
Do you think there will be any other books? Is there another book inside of you?
I definitely think so. I
I
think
think so
that,
too.
yeah, I definitely feel like there's more to come.
Well, this has been a fascinating conversation, and I know the two of us really could continue going on, but I feel like we've given people a brief glimpse into the power of stop winging it, the opportunity that opens up for you when you are willing to share or be vulnerable, whether it's at work or it's in personal relationships or even with your own self looking in the mirror. And we have given some people some action steps to take. Rebecca, I want to thank you so much for sharing this. I am going to have links where people can purchase your book in all the descriptions that we put out. And don't forget, you've got the free book club. How would they find that on rebeccadelpozo.com? Okay. And the Millionaire Real Estate Moms community is on Facebook. So if you would like to connect more with Rebecca Del Pozo and the communities that she's developed, those are some ways that you can do it. Rebecca, I would like to ask you, and maybe in the first quarter, to come back and be a guest again. And we could dig into another aspect from the book, or we could see what you have going on at that time. But would you like to
Oh,
come
I
back
would love
again as a
that.
guest? Right.
Absolutely, would love to. Thank you so much for having me.
Some people also may be in positions where they are looking for speakers and trainers. They could also get that information at rebeccadelpozo.com, correct? Excellent. And again, I know a lot of people might just be listening, but it is all of the links and all of the information will be in all the descriptions of the podcast, wherever you find it. If you are listening, I hope you'll return as a guest again as well and join us for the next episode of The Inner Estate. Thank you so much. and stop winging it. Get out there and lead yourself, lead your life.